The S&P 500 surging over 5,000 for the first time, largely due to significant increases in a few massive tech names. But our stock market gains set to broaden in 2024. Here with the details is Yahoo Finance's Josh Schafer. We have heard this before. We've heard this question before.
Yes. Everyone's been talking about it,
Are they going to broaden?
For months, right?
Yeah.
One thing, though, guys, that I did bring with us today is a little bit more evidence that shows why we might broaden. Because I think that's one thing that I know I've gotten into many conversations with strategists about, and I'm sure you guys have too, is, okay, so we're going to broaden. Well, one of my first questions is always, when are we going to see it in earnings? We have to see it in earnings at some point to sort of prove what we'd probably see in price reaction. And Bank of America was out with an interesting note today, pointing out the difference in Mag 7 earnings expectations versus the other 493 stocks in the S&P 500, and essentially pointing out, you can see here with your purple and blue lines, the purple line is the 493, the non-Mag 7 stocks. The light blue line is the Mag 7 stocks. You can see in Q4 right now, analyst projections are for the 493 to finally cross the Mag 7 and have higher year-over-year earnings growth. Now, we could probably point to the fact that Mag 7 is going to have tough comps at that point in Q4 and as far as year-over-year earnings growth goes. But we're seeing that gap really come closer together, guys. And I think that's the big takeaway here. And B of A sort of made the point that that might lead to some level of broadening, or at least support that, to see that. Because remember, we were looking at that one graph with big tech a couple weeks ago before earnings, and it was just a massive dispersion. So we're seeing that come away a little.
Yeah. When you talk to strategists too, Josh, do they say, okay, well, if this rally is going to continue, it has to broaden?
It seems like that at some point, yes, right? At some point, strategists argue we would have to see more than, basically at this point, you could argue it's 4 stocks driving us higher. But I think the main thing that most strategists are pointing out is it's probably not going to happen tomorrow, and it might not even happen this month, Josh. I think a lot of people are highlighting, Bank of America specifically highlighting June. A lot of people are talking that area of time because what do we think we're going to see in May or June? Probably a little bit more certainty around the Fed, right? That's sort of that's becoming the consensus call when we talk about broadening now, is we still think it's going to happen, but we need the Fed to get out of the way first, and then we might see that broadening happen. So a lot of people do think if we're going to go significantly higher than where we're at now at 5,000, maybe there is some sort of consolidation, we sell off a little bit, and then you move higher once we get the Fed out of the way, so to speak, and a better understanding where they're headed.
Out of the way. That's what we're watching for. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it.